Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brady is in the square marveling at Theresa's audacity. Alex questions whether it's really that bad that she attended Victor's funeral. Brady doesn't mind if Alex wants to date Theresa, but he cautions that she has a remarkable knack for getting into mischief. Alex is okay with that. Actually, it's something they both share. Theresa remembers Brady rejecting her when Stephanie comes up to her outside the pub. Kayla leaves the pub and hugs her niece as the cousins kiss one another. Theresa corrects Stephanie when she assumes Brady appreciates her attending the funeral. Kayla informs Kate that Vivian is the most demonized funeral crasher of the day after having just seen Kate. Vivian reassures Maggie, Justin, and Adrienne at the Kyriakis home that her divorce from Victor was never finalized. Maggie promises to hold her accountable for disrespecting Victor's funeral. When Justin attempts to call the county clerk, no one answers. So they'll send Vivian packing once he personally goes to pick up the divorce decree. The woman laughs. We'll just have to see about that. As Sarah faints, Xander holds the infant outside the Kyriakis mausoleum. She is bleeding, according to Rex, and needs to be taken to the hospital. As Sarah struggles to awaken, Chloe dashes to retrieve Rex's car. She urges Xander to take care of our little girl if anything happens to her before passing out once more. Chloe arrives at the estate to take Sarah's friend Maggie to the hospital. Bonnie accuses Vivian of executing a scam when they are alone. She is charged of doing the same by trapping Justin with her similarity to Adrienne, according to Vivian. Bonnie laments that nobody, not even his money, seems to think she really loves him. No one believes Vivian loved Victor either, she sobs, adding that she still misses him a great deal. Rex carries Sarah into a hospital room while Kayla removes the infant from Xander so it can be examined. As he paces, Xander remembers telling Sarah how pleased he was that Mackenzie had been born. Maggie and Chloe exit the elevator as Kayla enters. Kayla may inform them that Sarah had placenta accreta, which prevents the placenta from completely detaching after delivery, because Maggie's family knows. She has made a positive response and is once again conscious. She ought to recover well. Theresa says she's considering staying in Salem as she and Stephanie catch up inside the pub. Not for Brady, but rather because she met Alex Kyriakis at the burial, who she thought was incredibly hot. Mid-bite, Stephanie froze. Theresa agrees to back off when she finds out Stephanie had a relationship with Alex. Stephanie reassures her that they are only friends at this point, but Stephanie worries if she is pursuing Alex to make Brady envious. Theresa pretends to be innocent. Alex can be a lot of things, Stephanie cautions. Theresa responds, so can I, and requests his phone number. Brady tells Alex in the square that breaking up Ali's relationship with Channel and sleeping with her is his notion of mischief. Theresa's notion of trouble is to strike John in the head repeatedly with a fireplace poker until he nearly dies. He advises that it is best to be on her good side. Duly noted, replies Alex. When Justin arrives, he tells them more about Vivian. Kayla returns with the infant, who had a clear health report, after Rex brings Maggie in to visit Sarah. Xander offers to bring the infant in to see Sarah after she is paged to the ER. He guarantees no funny business this time. Chloe promises to see to it. Xander is given the infant by Kayla, and he lovingly cuddles her. In addition to bringing Sarah her daughter, Xander congratulates Rex, whom he believes the infant resembles. Sarah says she wants to name her baby Victoria Margaret after both Victor and Maggie, when Maggie is present in the room. Well, that's a name fit for a princess, a tearful Xander remarks. Uncle Vic would be extremely proud, I'm sure. Maggie doubts that Sarah intends to say anything further. That's all, Sarah says firmly. Xander carries a candle to Sarah's room after Maggie has departed. He assumes it's more for her because the gift shop was completely out of plush animals. What did she wish to say to him before falling asleep? He inquires. Sarah claims she can't recall. It couldn't have been significant. Brady and Alex discuss Victor's will when they are alone once more in the square. Brady speculates that Victor's enigmatic journey and the phone call he made to his attorney while traveling are connected. When Brady phones the attorney, the man can only confirm that Victor had contacted from Greece. Bo had already been relocated, so Alex wonders why Victor was still there. Brady advises them to visit and assess the situation for themselves. Theresa calls Alex and asks to schedule their dinner time. Alex would dearly love to, but he is accompanying Brady to Greece. Theresa grins mischievously. Xander reveals he couldn't stop thinking about what happened with Mackenzie when he meets Chloe in the hospital lobby. However, Victoria is in good health, and this time, it is clear whose child she is. He says, "She's definitely Rex and Sarah's." Sarah acknowledges that she almost told Xander that he was Victoria's father as Rex holds the infant in the hospital room. But all of Mackenzie's memories suddenly flooded back. She is aware that he was attempting to act morally at the time, but he just made matters worse. He is the way he is. Victoria would agree to a lifetime of suffering if he knew she was his. She is not allowed to subject either of them to that. Rex has her gratitude for everything. He is a blessing to Victoria. They are a blessing to Rex, but he queries whether she is certain. Sarah cries out that she is while claiming to be. She has experienced the sorrow of losing a child. She wouldn't treat him that way. Lonnie enthusiastically requests Vivian to join up with her after learning they were both in the same Statesville cell block. When Maggie gets back to the mansion, she discovers them laughing together. Justin enters, demonstrating that Vivian is telling the truth by doing so. Victor and Maggie never exchanged vows in a church. They must collect their possessions and leave Vivian's residence immediately, she commands. Days of Our Lives Victor's memorial ceremony has come and gone, and while it wasn't a big event, it was heartbreaking. There were several returns that we didn't expect, but there were still more that we didn't see, and we're still waiting for at the very end. Who knows, though? Maybe they'll still show up after the burial, like Vivian's tardy entrance. But Sarah is one person we don't anticipate seeing again. And there's a good explanation for it. Bo and Hope were simple to explain away because she won't leave his side and he is still in a coma. However, Shiera's doctor didn't want her to travel at this point in her pregnancy, as we recently learned. Making sense. But if we had gotten her back, it's something that might have been easily avoided. And when we almost had Sierra back, that opportunity passed. Chelsea's scenes were actually scheduled to go to her sister before she returned home. Former Days of Our Lives writer Jamie Giddens intervened to clarify that originally, Chelsea hadn't been the one who was scheduled to offer the eulogy when a fan pointed out on Twitter that Chelsea's lines regarding Bo's fight with his Kyriakis and Brady personas happened before she was even present. Chelsea's lines were written for Ciara, he said. But because Victoria Conful's schedule had a conflict, Chelsea was substituted in with a few minor adjustments. It's also the reason Alex began the show. When Ciara first saw her cousin Alex, it was intended to be a hint to sin. It's strange to consider that while Ciara and Ben both temporarily reappeared during Bo's resurrection, she and Alex were never acquainted. In fact, they are cousins. It's most likely the reason Alex brought up Chelsea, Bo's other daughter who isn't Ciara, at the beginning of the show. Giddens stated in a subsequent tweet that Theresa began berating Ben for killing her niece in the original screenplay, prompting Ciara to defend her husband by asserting that Ben wasn't that person anymore. Hold on and take a quick peek between Alex and Ciara. And that naturally brings to mind another family connection that we might have forgotten about, namely the fact that Paige was Theresa's niece and Eve is Theresa's sister. In the end, however, it shouldn't have been all that strange for Chelsea to discuss her dad's difficulties. Sean could have discussed it from personal experience, but he chose not to due to his ongoing battle with guilt over Victor's passing. It was so intense that he had considered committing suicide. It made sense for him to stay silent at the funeral. Giddens remarked on Twitter, "I think Rachel Melvin came in and did a phenomenal job. It was impossible to please everyone. Of course, John, Victor, Nicole, and the rest should have been there, but we're only allowed about 12 characters and a handful of sets per episode. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.